Well, we've still got in the studio, trailed Sarah Vine from the Daily Mail. Now, we're talking about Catherine Milligan. Here's the front page of The Sun. They have a scoop. Kate outdoors. She's seen out with William at farm. First public trip ends web rumours. That photograph, however, is not of Kate at the farm store because The Sun haven't published a photograph of her. They may have one, in which case they're choosing not to run it. Sarah Vine, what do you make of all this?
Well, that's a bit naughty of them to make it look like that's a picture.
Because it does look like that.
Yeah, it does. I mean...
When you think the controversy over photographs and Kate...
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit naughty.
And they're not the... almost every media publication has done this morning. I was woken up bleary-eyed, looking at my phone early this morning to see her on a website and zooming in. How does she look? Does she look tired? Does she look well? Then I realised I was looking at a photo from May 23.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's good. It's nice that she's out and about and feeling better. And I honestly think that, you know, I mean, I don't know if your viewers spend much time on the internet, but the rumours that are out on the internet about her are just unbelievable. And it's a reminder of what an absolute kind of Wild West the internet is. I mean, you know, we think that's a little bit cheeky. Yes, that is a little bit cheeky. But what's online is beyond. I mean, absolutely beyond.
They have handled it terribly, though, haven't they?
Well, they have, but I think also that I just don't think they kind of understand the extent to which the madness of the internet has contributed to all of this. I mean, I've seen awful stuff online, and especially on sites like TikTok, you know, where people have sort of mocked things up, and it's just been awful. And it's completely unregulated. There's no comeback.
Good.
You can't stop. Well, I don't think that's because I think that at a certain point, you know, you can't say that some of the stuff that's online is actually really libelous about that.
And the thing is, you say good bet, but we're regulated here.
You need some regulation, but you can't just go mad.
As a TV station and a radio station, the newspapers are regulated, but Facebook, which is, to my mind, a media outlet, has no regulation.
But also, there are a lot of people online who will look at something on TikTok, a mock-up of her in whatever way, and think that that's real.
But we've just said how all these papers have got pictures that they're passing off as... the mainstream media is doing the same thing.
That's very cheeky, I agree.
If you read the story, it does say we have no photograph.
Yeah,
it does say that.
But people don't always read the story. No. So, I mean, nobody is blameless in this. I think the most important thing in terms of this story is that there is a woman at the centre of this who is clearly struggling with her health. And the other question, the supplementary question really is, what is our relationship as the public with the royal family? And how much honesty do they have to give us as their subject?
I mean, personally, I've always thought that, you know, if she's got something wrong with her, then that's her business, and we don't need to know the details of it. But I do think that what you say is true, that the palace have handled it really quite badly. And I think they're not being advised very well. And I think the people who are supposedly running their sort of PR department don't really understand the landscape that they're up against. You know, I don't think they kind of understand the degree to which, particularly in America and on American websites and, you know, news channels, it's just a sort of mad free-for-all, and they need to try and harness all of that. They need to get all of that under control, and they're not doing that.
What did you make of the Sunday Times story yesterday that we probably will see her quite soon? There's speculation, actually, she'll join the royal family at church at Sandringham on Sunday, which would be great, but that she will talk at some point at her pace and on her terms about her health and the battle she had, whether she goes into the detail. Do you think then does need to be that level of transparency now, Sarah? I
think it's up to her. I think it depends how she feels about it. I do think that even if you're a celebrity or you know, whether you're very famous or whether you're a royal, you know, there are some things that are personal, aren't they, and need to remain personal. I mean, if she feels whatever it is that's wrong with her, if she feels she wants to talk about it because because it could have a wider benefit, you know, then that's a good idea. But it has to be her decision. But I don't think that was that wasn't the problem that we had last week. It was the fact that things had been altered, you know, but I think people would rather, you know, I think if you say to people, look, I'm really sorry, I don't want to talk about what's happened to me. It's very personal and I don't really want to share it. I'm sorry, but I'm okay. That's one thing. But if you sort of try and manipulate
but also, as we're saying that, how anachronistic is that in a world where everybody broadcasts everything about their life? And I think that's why the younger generation who maybe are on social media are leaping to conclusions because they're like, privacy? We don't do privacy.
Everyone overshares all the time.
Everyone overshares everything. And also, particularly women of Kate's sort of age as well now, everything is all about menopause or fertility problems or weight issues. Mental health. And so she's taken this very unusual step for her generation to say, I want to retain some privacy over this. And I've sort of oscillated with this story as we've gone along, but I think I'm coming to the position now where I'm very happy for her to retain her privacy and her dignity, actually, about this. And if it is something embarrassing...
Yeah,
then...
it could be something intensely personal, because we don't know, and it isn't our business at the end.
But also, she might just need to process what's happened to her.
Of
You know,
course.
sometimes people just need to process the experience that they've had. She needs to work out how she feels about it, and then, when she's ready, she'll talk about it.
What we do know, of course, though, Sarah, is when we were found out that the King was going into hospital because he had an enlarged prostate, God, the NHS was nearly blown away, overwhelmed by men, in particular men of my generation, contacting their doctor, contacting hospitals, saying, what about me? Because they haven't... So that's why sometimes it can be really, really
I agree,
beneficial.
but don't forget the King has been, you know, he's been a very prominent royal for all his life.
Yeah.
It's a different scenario, slightly, and she's married into the royal family. It's a little bit different.
She's not used to it.
Well, she is sort of used to it, but she's not. You know, she wasn't born to it. It doesn't. It isn't sort of hardwired into her.
Yeah.
In the way that it is with him.
And without her, I would genuinely be fearful for the future of the royal family.
Oh, I mean, honestly, last week was very interesting for us at the Daily Mail because we had such an outpouring of support for her.
Yeah.
And it's very clear that people in this country absolutely adore her and think she is a fantastic addition to the royal family.
She is.
And I think that the royals really need to be very conscious of that fact. And you know, she's an absolute asset to them.
Yeah, she looks the part, she sounds the part, she doesn't put a foot wrong.
No.
She's a great ambassador, and she's not competing for
Well, she understands the
headlines.
assignment, as they say.
Exactly.
You know,
Whereas
she
Meghan
really
always was very conscious that she was being overshadowed by everybody else. Meghan wanted to be the star. That's not Kate. Kate knows the royal family.
Well, Meghan's now very busy, you know, being the new Nigella Lawson.
Yes. I noticed that whole new website she's launched about promoting
Orchid,
herself.
what's it called?
American
Orchard.
Riviera Orchard. It's like word salad of
I thought
random...
you know that app, What Three Words? Which I thought it was the What Three Words address for Montecito.
And the two words that were missing, Prince Harry.
Yes.
Not mentioned anywhere.
Well, Andrew, somebody's got to make some money, and it's obviously... We haven't quite worked out what his particular skill set is yet, have we?
The outrageous bit...
Just seeing his family.
The outrageous bit for me of her relaunching this brand is that she's done it under the Duchess of Sussex.
Of course she has.
Surely you hate the family, you hate the role, and yet you're happy to keep
And
the
I
title.
want to be one of the world's great feminists.
Is that what she said?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, bless her.
Well, good luck to her.
Right.